folks, welcome back to the channel. Really do appreciate you being here. If you are new here, hey, my name's Chris and I'm building a business that suits my lifestyle, and welcome to my warehouse. Now the purpose of these videos is, number one, I'm documenting my journey. As you can see here, we're right into the thick of it this morning. I'm documenting my journey. We've been building this business for the last 6 years. This is the start of year 6. We started from home, we started in the thrift shops, we then moved into some storage units. Eventually had 5 storage units, and then eventually a year ago this week actually, we moved into this warehouse to continue to build the dream business that I'm trying to achieve here. And that continues to change and adapt and pivot as, you know, the climate in terms of the space that we operate in, the industry that we operate in changes. So it's definitely never a dull day. There's always something happening, always something changing. And I document it to show you guys the decisions I'm making, why I'm doing it, the highs, the lows, the fun, the sad, and all the different things in between. And we predominantly sell pre-owned clothing or pre-loved fashion. We also have an e-waste business, which we do a lot down there. And we do a little bit of whatnot, and we do a few other things as well. So heaps of things always happening. It's never a dull day. The other reason why I document this is I want to inspire and motivate and encourage others to go after what it is that they want. Doesn't have to be eBay, doesn't have to be reselling, doesn't have to be business. It's more around, you've got an idea, you've got a dream, you want to be somewhere in your life, go after it. We started from zero, you start from zero, figure it out, solve your problems, be willing to learn, and you can do what your heart desires. That's really the intention here. So I'm not here to tell you how to do it, folks. I'm really just sharing the journey, sharing what it's like, and hopefully, you know, you can grab some value along the way. But if you do have questions, if I can help someone else, I will. If you've got a question, chuck it down in the comments down below. We've got timestamps as well where you can jump between and find what kind of tickles your fancy. It is Monday morning, 7 o'clock. It's actually a bit nippy. I've actually got a bit of a jumper on. I was here yesterday for the Whatnot stream. We did about 157 orders. I'm pretty tired actually. I've been packing this yesterday and this morning. I'm going to just finish this up now before Dion gets in so he can get focused on the core of the business, which is the eBay. But you know, overall, it was a pretty good session. Like, I think these Whatnots, as long as the consignee is happy to continue that way, it works out better. Rather than me buying the stuff, sorting through it, washing it, paying someone to list it, for his stuff, because he gets a lot through like storage units and things, I think doing the Whatnot works out better. He will probably end up earning more money than if I was buying it off him. So we've cleared, hopefully, I haven't finished doing the postage, but we should clear around $600. So he'll get 300, I'll get 300, and that's after fees and postage, etc. So that would be pretty good if we can do that. So I probably would have only paid him about 200, 250. So definitely, yeah, nice little win there. So yeah, I'm just straight into doing some Whatnot orders right here. In terms of how the weekend has gone, I think we've got about, it must be about 56 orders, 65 orders. Let's have a look. It actually wasn't too bad. I hadn't spent a lot of attention on it. I've been doing a lot of stuff personal on the weekend, really trying to keep the weekends to personal. Obviously, I did a Whatnot on Sunday, but that was because Carla was out and I was out, so I figured I'll just do it. So we're on 54 sales to go out. We're still slowly creeping back up to where we want to be, 92,379. It's starting to stay consistent now. So today's plan, there's lots happening. So we'll finish the Whatnot stuff, we'll finish the the eBay stuff. Dion will be doing that. We've got some media bins we're going to sort today as well. We've got washing going out that's getting picked up probably around 9:30. We're actually nearly out of stock here. So what will happen here is the team will finish this one today, and then what will happen is we'll start to get into some of the consignment stuff here that doesn't have to be washed, and that will continue on until we basically get the washing back. I've got a big wholesale order getting picked up this week as well. Hopefully get some more e-waste coming through. I've got to continue to sort all this stuff. We've got our new trade-in program. It's not my trade-in program. I'm a buyer for a trade-in program. The first trade-in is coming today. So that's coming around 3 o'clock, I think. And we've also got, I've got a video call of a new opportunity at 2 to 2:30. So busy day, never a dull day. And this week we're also going to start consolidation. So every quarter, usually what we do, actually we have to, so I'll probably get Dion on that as well. We have to start consolidating, basically shuffle through this. Any gaps, we basically have to take yeah, we have to, you know, fill the gaps and whatnot. So that usually takes a good day or two. So I'll probably get Dion on that. Actually, I might get Dion on that today rather than the media, because it's priority. Anyway, we've got the other photographer in today as well. So I'm just going to get the photos. I'm just going to get the cameras on charge, get all that happening, and I'm going to continue on this. And I've still got to do a little bit of admin this morning and a few other bits and bobs. But yeah, should be a pretty good day in terms of the week. I mean, that's just today. Today's a big day. Through the rest of the week, really just need to continue to push through this, do a lot of testing on that. We've got some camera stuff coming through. Yeah, lots happening, but we'll get on that later. So I'm going to get to work, and I'll bring you along for the journey shortly. I've also got to do a short content video as well. So, woo! Appreciate you being here. We've got some Japanese jazz fusion of Donkey Kong in the background. All right, team, I'm just going to turn this off so I can chat. We have finished all the whatnot stuff just before Dion's about to arrive. All of this, and then we've got one whole bag full in there as well. So happy days, got it done. I'm going to do some admin now. I've got to do some, I've got another trade-in proposal, so I've got to do a quote on that. I'll do my listings, and then, yeah, Dion will be able to get started on the postage. So I'll put all this down here, and smooth operation. All right, we have all of the stuff that is going out. We've actually got quite a good variety, actually. It's very random, but we've done about $3,100 worth, about 55 orders. We've got cameras, we've got, the phones are finally being paid for. They're going out today. We've got some signed, autographed items. We've got a whole bunch of things here. A lot of this is consignment. We've got some Lego, we've got some old toys, shoes. We've got a wax heater. We've got a radio, we've got more shoes. Some R.M. Williams, and then just lots and lots and lots of clothes. Some Super Mario shorts, they're going out, they're pretty cool. Yeah, good variety of different stuff. So yeah, a few multi-quantity orders, but really just, yeah, bread and butter as well. So very happy with that. It's going to be quite a lot of stuff to go out when we go to the post. It's probably going to be about 4 bags and a whole bunch of boxes, so woohoo! Alright team, I'm now just doing my my listings. I'm going to list a whole bunch of North Face. I've got 35 North Face here that I'm going to quickly just quickly review. So John, my lister, has done this process already. I just go through, do some spot checking, check pricing, and send them live. So this shouldn't take too long. And then I'll probably start to go through a bit of my work list for this week and show you guys what we're working on. And there's a few other things I've got to get ready for the camera that's coming today, that came from that new program that I'm working with, the vendors coming through, and I've got to do some tests and stuff. So I actually just got to get the processes right for that. So I've got to set that up a bit today, and then I'll probably just continue to do photos of stuff. We've got a whole bunch of shoes and stuff that's come through, and handbags. Also need to work on some of those things. So today's just get into a groove, and then tomorrow I'll figure out what's going to be the best use of my time. All right, let's get to work. All right, team, it's time to update the weekly list of things that have to be done. And we're going to update this so it's the week starting the 2nd of Feb. So we'll put that as a big 2. I can't believe we're in February. And I want to talk about my month results. And I've actually been thinking about doing some member-only videos, doing a deep dive. If people want to get a bit more in detail or ask some more detailed questions, I am thinking about doing it. I'll talk about that shortly as well. So it's Feb. And this is where we were at last week. We did all of this. Whatnot's done. Washing, all this is done. All right, so we're going to just get rid of all this. We're going to kind of start back to what is my current priority at the moment. So we've got some new trade-in stuff coming in, and what that means is I'm just buying and selling on behalf of someone else. That's all I'm doing. So they've got the contact. They're asking me to be the middle guy in terms of buy the stock, sell the stock, and then we take it. So it's basically a consignment, but it's a paid consignment. So I'm paying them a bit, yeah, etc. You get the idea. So that one, there's some processes for this today. New processes, and there's some new testing of this today. So that's the first one that's coming in today. We've got more that are apparently on their way. So this will be a good test. So I've got to get that ready today as well. The next thing that we have to do this week is the next whatnot prep. Agree on the time. It's probably going to be Friday. And also sort clothes. And so we've got all of this leftover clothes that we've got to deal with, and then we've got all the boxes that we've got to sort through to get the show ready. Dion's going to be helping with media bins this week. So he's probably going to do that today. And then we'll get some e-waste hopefully picked up and dropped off on Wednesday. I've got my media guy coming Wednesday, but we won't put that here. We need to do... what was the other thing? Hopefully we're getting e-waste, and that will be a bit of a transaction. We do have some wholesale stuff coming this week. Look, I think that's the main big pieces. There will be some more washing, cycling coming in and out, but these are the key areas this week, I think, that need to really have my attention. And then there is the option, we may actually have the option to be able to do some work experience for a student, which might be starting soon. So that could be just a great new opportunity to have someone come in, see what we do as a business, but also help with some of the, sorting clothes and just prepping things and getting ready. So that's an exciting experience. It's not locked in yet. So I think these are the main things. I mean, there's all the normal stuff that we've got to do each week. So that's just a given, but they're kind of where my head's at. And then there's also all the e-waste station setup, like workflows, which we're still doing. And I have a huge backlog of, we'll just say tech, shoes, and bags. So the other thing that we have to do is consolidate. Now that's not all me. This is not all me, right? This is me. This is me. This is Dion and me, Dion and me, Dion and photographer potentially. So lots of moving pieces. There is something else I want to chat about. So I kind of wanted to think, I've been thinking about two things, and I put a little poll up to see what people would think. So I want to get back to doing our live streams. Previously we're doing them weekly, Wednesdays, but there is a couple of things that I want to, there's a few personal projects that I'm working on, and I really want to make sure that I'm spending that time at home doing stuff personally and doing stuff at home with Carla, etc., etc. So really trying to make sure I'm spending more time focused personally on that stuff when it's personal time. So there has been some ideas around maybe moving my live streams to just once a month, especially while there isn't much Pokemon cards and things like that, because at this point I can't afford to be buying Pokemon cards. When we do fundraising and stuff, we'll probably change and do a bit more of a weekly schedule. But the thought is we do a monthly live stream, hang out, just chill with everyone, do some giveaways, etc., etc. Bit of fun. But then I'm also thinking about during work hours of setting up, whether it's weekly or monthly, a bit of a members offers hours. And I talked about this last year, where basically we have a scheduled time. I'm just going to be live. I'll be doing something that I'm doing, and people can come hang out. We can chat. We can talk about things, ask questions, etc. I'm also thinking about doing, I'd love your thoughts on that as well. Let me know in the comments. And then there has been some answers and questions there's been some ideas coming through on the poll that I put up. So I'm going to put the poll here. You can jump over there and have a look. Just give me your thoughts. I've also been thinking about doing some member-only videos. And the reason why I'm thinking about that is because, if we're not doing a lot of Pokemon stuff at the moment, and I know a lot of people joined up for the Pokemon stuff, still doing giveaways, we'll make that happen. It just might not be Pokemon, maybe it's going to be gift cards or something, and it just might be less giveaways, but a higher value to one person. But what I'm thinking about for the membership videos is maybe just diving into some stuff that maybe people that really want to crunch into that next level of detail. And it's not about me sitting there and telling you how it's done, but just bringing you down a bit more on some why I do things, how I do things, and especially around the numbers, talking about my finances of the business and the way I've thought about things, where we're investing money and those stuff. And I feel like that might be a really important and great value for the members that have, kind of locked in that next level. But I'm also open to ideas. If you could get a member video, what would you like to see opposed to everyone else seeing it? And I mean, I show a lot already, but I also think that I want to make sure I'm doing right by those that are supporting me on that next level as well. So open to ideas. Let me know. Let me know what you're thinking, and I'll do my best. There has been an idea around me doing like a live Zoom call where I chat to people and stuff. That's a bit more sophisticated and a bit more time, but that might be a bit more isolated to an individual opposed to a group of people. You know, I am trying to manage my time in the business and on the business and also personally. So I want to be mindful of that, and also want to be respectful of other people's time as well. So yeah, that I'd rather do a bit of a hang out, we answer questions. But look, if someone does want some support to pick my brain and get some ideas about, I'm happy to do that stuff. If that's something you're interested in, I've done that with a few people over the years. I don't necessarily charge for it, but people have, you know, compensated me for that, because they wanted to understand, how do you do this process? And I've walked them through that, and, you know, because time is money, but I don't really want to be setting up anything in that kind of detail at this point, because like I said, I'm trying to manage my time in the business, and we're launching so many things and doing so many different things and taking on new stuff that I have to be mindful of my time and, you know, obviously my personal time. So yeah, that's just where that's at. But I'm open to ideas. I love ideas, and I want to know what I can do to give back to you guys, and get, you know, you guys getting the best value possible. So let me know in the comments. Post is coming along nicely. Choppers, I've just been getting this ready. Dion's going to do this after he's finished his post. So we've got one big bin of media to sort. So there's a bunch of video games and stuff in this one, which is good. It's always a bit of a mixed bag. You never know what you're going to get. Movies, a lot of it's junk, but hey, sometimes I think on average, with one bin, we're probably doing about, if we're lucky, maybe $100. But sometimes it's more, sometimes it's less. So yeah, it's definitely interesting, but we keep doing it because yeah, we get some pretty cool stuff every so often. So it only takes a matter of someone dropping off a whole collection and we win. Like stuff like, if this was new, like this would be really good. I don't think it is new. I mean, they could be, possibly could be. So that kind of stuff is pretty good as well. So you just never really know. But like this looks potentially new, like that. That's good. So, you know, we've sold this for $75 to Thailand before, but again, it's random. You never really know, but it's a bit of fun as well. So let's see what we get. All right, team, just had a meeting, which went really well. That's just for some other stuff I'm working on. And now I've got, yeah, client, customer coming. They'll be here very shortly to do this new pricing stuff. I got to test stuff, so I probably won't be filming. I'll probably film afterwards, but they're going to get my assessment. They'll take it away. And then if the buyer wants to sell it based on my offer, then they bring it back. So it's a bit of a roundabout process, but hey, it's the way it's going to work. So in the interim, I'm just doing a little bit of admin. I'm just going to see if there's any more postage to send. We've got a lot to go out. There's another bag over there. So busy. All right, team, that was a success. I've had a look at the item, assessed the item. I'm happy with the item. I've now got to send an email saying success, happy. And then if the customer's happy to sell it to us for the price that I offer, we'll take it. And then I'll have it back tomorrow and we can photo it and get it sold. So I got to get out of here. I'm going to pack all this post, get it in the car and go. Folks, welcome to Tuesday. We're back at it. It's a beautiful morning. I just love beautiful mornings. All right, it's going to be a big day. It's just dropped Carla off at the train. It's 7:02. Straight to it, folks. It's just me here today, which means I'm going to do a whole bunch of different things. I'm going to play catch up on a whole bunch of admins that I got to do just so I can work, not being distracted. I've got a meeting with my accountant, Ethan Rushok, an amazing accountant. If you are looking for a reseller accountant, definitely drop my name. If you reach out to him, he'll work a good deal out for you. My focus today is a whole bunch of different things, and I think I forgot to save the list of things to be done, but that list has already changed. You know how it is, folks. The list continuously grows. I think I forgot to save it when I turn this off. But one thing that I've got to do is, let's see if it's still here. I've got to do all of my consignment stuff. So, oh no, it is here. I don't know what happened here. There's a bit of a, anyway. So I've got to do my consignment stuff. So at the start of every month, basically I have to do a whole bunch of reporting for my consignees. And send them basically, you know, what we've sold, how much they've made, when will they get paid, etc., etc. So I've got to do that. That's consignments. And I had a call with my ewaste guy today, last night. Looks like ewaste isn't coming this week, but means there'll be a bit more next week, just because of some, you know, logistical things, which is fine. I've got a meeting with Ethan, as I said. I've got to make a few other calls and do a little bit of other planning for some stuff. Just dropping my pen here. And yeah, so that's the main thing. But media bins we have done. That's probably been pushed out. We've got to do this one. This was a success. Like we've actually agreed to go with a camera that came in, and who knows what's coming next. But we're just waiting to hear back from the customer. I am probably going to spend a bit of time today after I've done all my admins. Obviously I've got to do pick, pack and post as well. So I'll be a busy boy. I've got to do listings, got to do everything. And washing comes back tomorrow. So I need to do a washing lot today as well. I've got my media guy coming tomorrow. So I think my focus today, if I end up getting to doing photos of stuff, I'm going to focus on doing some Samsung tablets. And I will probably end up getting into, we've got a whole bunch of like shoes and stuff in here that I've got to do for one of my consignments. Probably get into a little bit of that, handbags and stuff. Yeah, I'm not probably going to start on consolidation because we still have a bit of space. I'm going to leave that for the team next week. Yeah, that's probably where we're at. So I'm going to get myself settled in. At some stage I'll take you through the postage and what we've got going out, and answer any questions as well. We'll do that today. In terms of where we're at, it's been a bit of a quiet evening. Actually, sorry, I say that, but it actually hasn't. We've got 14 items going out, but I had a lot of sales come through between 10:30 and midnight last night. So we've got 14 items and we're on 92,110. We've had a lot of interesting character customers in the last 24 hours. I've said this before, and one of the biggest pet peeves that I have with customers that get emotionally frustrated when an item doesn't fit them and they blame us. I've got this one lady, she is going off her trop, and now she's at the point where she's just getting abusive. She is literally just spamming me, issue, because she got an item, it doesn't fit, and she messaged and said, hey, it doesn't fit. And I said, that's fine, just send it back, we'll for it. Anyway, it's getting close to when she has to send the item, and I get this random message this morning. It's like, if you do not refund me in full and my postage, I'm going to, you know, she didn't say slander my name, she's like, we're gonna raise a dispute and we're gonna leave some ugly feedback. This was at 4:56 a.m. I get up at 5:06. So I see this message at 5:06. And then I'm like, oh, geez. And before I even reply, I check my feedback, and she's left a nice feedback saying, absolutely disgusting, purchase this item, it does not fit, it's the wrong sizing, shouldn't even be selling this in Australia, does not fit me. Reached out to the seller, they did not reply, demanded a refund, have not received anything, I want my money back. And I'm just like, oh my gosh. I've tried to, you know, and I've got a little hint and trick that I do to keep myself regulated, and that's leveraging AI, ChatGPT, to send the message to ChatGPT and say, hey, look, this is what I'm trying to deal with, and they help just keep things toned down and calm. So I've just been, you know, saying, hey, look, we're really sorry it doesn't fit. We offer free returns and exchanges, as we've already discussed. Sorry, not exchanges, but if they want to get something else, they can. And, you know, saying, please, we haven't received the item yet. Have you sent the item? Tracking says it's still pending to be sent. Can you please confirm? The feedback, a bit frustrating. If you'd reached out, we would have loved to help this. Anyway, basically saying, you know, follow the process and we'll get this sorted. And then she's like, no, you refund me now. She got very demanding. Anyway, we went back and forth to the point where I'm just copying and pasting my same stuff over and over again. And now she's saying, no, you should not even selling this. It's faulty because it's a wrong sizing to Australia. And I said, well, we sell international, right? Like, you're not the only person we're selling to. And I did not say that to her. I'm just... Anyway, so I then actually had to end up blocking her because she just kept spamming, and I'm not going to take that abuse. So I've taken that up with eBay. I told her, look, if she wants to rate and close this return and open up a case, more than happy for it to do. I know we'll win it because she's getting abusive. She started saying, if you do not refund, I'm going to take this photo of this item and I'm going to put it all over Google, all over the forums, and leave you feedback wherever I can and tell you how bad this is. It's like a $20 shirt. It's just ridiculous. I mean, look, I could pay her out, but it's the principle of like, she has to learn to follow the platform policies as well. And we haven't done anything wrong either. So it's like, geez, a bunch of adults we're dealing with, isn't it? Anyway, so that's been my morning. Anyway, I'm going to get myself set up and I'll show you a few things that we're doing today, take you through it all. And I do want to spend some time and just answer some questions and stuff too. So let's get into it. All right, we're off to a bit of a busy morning. It's now 8:30. I've actually been doing a bit of personal stuff. I've had to do some stuff with one of my rental properties. Just there was an issue with one of the fireplace situations there, so we're just going to get some renovations done for it. So just been dealing with that with the real estate agent and whatnot. So saving a little bit of time. I've now finished the first consignment report. Obviously, I can't show certain things, but I'm happy to kind of show some level of detail, give you guys a breakdown. One of the most common questions that I get is, how do we manage the consignment? And I want to show it up on screen. I'll take you through it. So basically, this is through one of the contracts that I have, and you know, we're managing, going through and basically providing refurbished tech. That's essentially what we do. We find stuff that shouldn't be going to waste, that can be refurbished, and then we sell it. So this month for this particular customer, we've had 42 items come through that we've sold, number of orders. We've done 5.1K in revenue just from that kind of stuff, e-waste, refurbishment, tech, etc. After fees, postage, some of this is wholesale as well, so there's not really any, you know, postage and fees expenses. With total profit is 4,566, and we split 2.2K each. So they will send me an invoice for 2.2K, and that's how it works. Very simple. This was probably one of our better months, to be honest. Like, surprisingly, I think our best month was. Yeah. So it's in the top. It's in the top 5 months. This is, so which is pretty good. Considering that we've just come back, I've gone super hard on it. Definitely well worth it. Considering on average, since being in the warehouse, the average total sales per month has been 51, and we did 42, and it was only half a month because we've only been back. And since February last year when we moved in here, the average month has been about 4. Actually, it's not. Yeah, there it is. It's about 4.9K. So. Yeah, this is above average. Just best has been about 7.2, but usually we do around that 5.5 to 6K, so a bit more than 6. So not too bad. All things considered, really great ASP in this round as well. Of course, as you saw, ASP was around $122, whereas previously the ASP is probably closer to. We're probably sitting closer to being, I'm just going to work this out, per month. So it varies every month, right? But the average is about $99. So this was a higher ASP month. So very happy with that. So that's what I've done. I've got to go do a couple more of these now, and then we'll probably get on the postage probably after. Actually, maybe we'll do. I might just go pull out the postage and we'll take you through that because I've got a meeting with Ethan, my accountant, soon. So yeah, just want to stay on top of that. And then I'll continue to do consignments while I'm waiting for my meeting with Ethan. So let's go pull out some stuff that we've got to send out today. All right, let's pick out these items. What do we got? I think someone's just rocked up actually. I'm expecting someone to rock up to drop something off. Anyway, so let's do this. There's 14 orders and probably about 13 actual orders. I'll probably combine one or two here. Let's see what we've got. We've got a whole bunch of good stuff. All right, I'm going to pull it all out and I'm going to show it to you once I've got it out, just so I don't, sit here and back and forth. I'll put it all on the table. You can have a look what it looks like, and I'll show you a few cool things. We've got some interesting stuff going out today, actually. So give me a second and I'll show you. Not too bad. I'll show you a few things. So we have a really big range of different stuff here. We've got these two knives going out. One's gone for about 59, one's gone for 43. It's gone to the same customer, so these are on consignment. Now, when it comes to selling knives and those kind of things, it really comes down to the type of knife. You can't sell machetes, you can't sell like ninja samurai swords and things like that. This is a fishing knife, so that's why you're allowed to sell it, and this is a hunting knife. It falls under that category. But if it was a small sword, or if it's like a brutal knife that has like, different cuts and stuff in it, you can't do it. So that's the last of mine that I've sold, again, through consignment. Just be mindful when listing that. And you cannot sell to a Queensland with these. Very strict ruling, so make sure you do check the eBay policy. Got a little camera going out. That one actually sold pretty good. It sold this morning for $61 untested, and we've got a couple of MacBooks going out. Those two, that's gone for $212, and then the rest is just bread and butter clothing, which all of this works out to be about, I think it was $800 or so. We've got a nice little North Face we listed yesterday that's gone for $76. A lot of it's just bread and butter. We've got some pants, some we've got some Ralph Lauren in there, some Nautica stuff in there. So yeah, whole bunch of different stuff. I'm going to get this all packed up. We use STARSHIPIT to get all our orders processed as quickly as possible. This is what it looks like on screen. It's already been imported. It tells me what to put them in. Makes it very, very quick. And you just press one button and it prints it, and then the payment just goes through via my account. Very, very simple. It's integrated with Australia Post. If you are looking to give this a go, you can get 2 months for free with my referral code. Obviously, I get something from that. But go check it out, well worth it. It changed our business. Now we do 1,000 items plus a month. I recommend you don't have to jump up to the top tier on this. You get the lower tier regardless. Test it out for free, see if it works for you. If it saves you time, why not sign up? All right, I've just finished one of the other consignment pieces. This one is a different type of report. We meet a number of different requirements for a number of different clients. This one is, it's mainly clothing. We also do collectibles for this individual. And these two that I've shown you, these are contracted consignments, meaning, we have an agreement, we have it all in writing, etc. The ones that are a bit more like on a month-to-month basis are a bit more casual. I won't go into detail because, I just don't think that makes sense. Because it's a bit more personal for those individuals. But for these two, I think these are my biggest ones and most important in terms of, having to, obviously, I'm obligated to do things. So that's why I'm sharing it. So this one, as you can see here, we've done 88 orders. For this one, it's 4,100. $46 per sale on average. Fees are a bit higher on this one because we don't do wholesale for these guys. We sell purely on eBay. So they're going to walk away with 1,400, and so will we. And in this lot, we also do a little bit of tracking of some of the. So I've got about another 1,000 items I still got to process. We've got to unbox them. We've already listed 1,274. And on top of that, we've already sold 140. So the total amount is 1,400. 1,414. So pretty good. I think there's a total of over 1,800. I can't remember because I didn't actually count it myself. They put it all together. So we're just chugging along. It might actually be less than that. And so I'm going to send this out to them, and then they send an invoice to me, etc., etc. So. Yeah, really happy for this one. I think they'll be happy as well because it's bigger than last month. So, woohoo! Whew, just had a lovely catch up with Ethan. Oh, that was great. It was Ethan and I, before we were doing business together, we do business together. Actually, we have a reseller spreadsheet, but before he was my before he was my accountant and before we actually, started to work together, we were good friends. We met online and, he's been great. So I always love catching up, just talking ideas, business problems and all that. And, the point here is you want to find someone that can be in your circle, in your inner corner, cheering for you, helping you, supporting you. I've got a bunch of friends like that, all in different places, all in different parts of, business and life. And I think it's super important to have because building a business by yourself as a solopreneur, like in terms of, you're the owner, you're the operator, you're the CEO, you're doing everything. Of course, when you get staff, that starts to come off, but you're still responsible and accountable. It can be overwhelming and it can be hard. So finding people that are here to support you and, really bounce ideas and give you the love, definitely worth it, folks. I'm going to get back to postage. I've just got message that my media guy's coming today, so that's good. We're going to get some more dollary dues. So I'll get that out after doing the post. All right, postage is done. Lunch is done. I'm now just getting this media stuff ready. So we're selling media, remotes. We've got all of these going out as well. All of this, all of this, all of this. I'm hoping we're probably going to get close to hopefully 500, 600 bucks, maybe somewhere there, maybe, give or take. Ideally, that would be good. Nice little pickup. I haven't really been getting much done myself, but I am going to just give someone a buzz. Just got to catch up. And the afternoon, I've got more meetings. So really just catching up on admins today. All right, it's one of those days where I'm just getting ahead on stuff because just don't usually get to do it. And I think people know, but I think there's a lot of people, especially if you're joining here for the first time, my role in my business now is really just admin, top level stuff, operations in terms of working on the business opposed in the business, and new business leads really, and that customer, or probably more client management, because I now have I guess we have a number of contracts that we run, and trying to build out a few more things in those opportunities to grow the business. And really my focus and my priority is to build, I guess we call it a moat, or more unfair advantages within the business that enables us, so when one part isn't going well, another part can kind of complement in that. And that's really where my time is in today. Being able to do that is really important. But at the same time, obviously not having anyone else here today means we're not getting other stuff done. So I'm not getting photos done. I'm not getting through the big backlog of stuff that I need to be doing. So it's a catch-22, but the stuff I need to do has to be done. So there was I spoke about the other week where I think it was Darren or someone else mentioned about, should I get a warehouse manager or something? Look, down the line it makes sense. And with the stuff that I'm trying to do and trying to achieve, it will make sense. But we're just not there yet. And like I said, my focus is to obviously get cash flow and profits back to where I want it to be. But, some of that just requires a little front end work as well. So it's 1 o'clock. My customer is going to be here at 1:30. So I'm just getting ready for a couple of things here now. I'm just going to start to test some stuff and just see what else I can do while I'm waiting. Once that's gone, this is all freed up, and then I think, I can do a bit more work. I do have another couple of calls that I have happening today, so it is just kind of go, but wouldn't change it for the world. Love what I do, and I still need to get to some questions and comments as well, but let's get into it. All right, solid win. Just had the media guy pick up all the stuff. It's all gone, as you can see. All gone, freed up all the space, and he's paid $650.60, so thank you. All right, Tim, in front of me I've got a whole bunch of different tablets that I'm just doing. I've got another meeting at 3 o'clock, so just trying to get some quick wins done before we step into that meeting. Because it's been a bit of a slow day, but from a getting things done kind of day in terms of things I've wanted to achieve, it's been great. But from a day-to-day operations, not much. Good thing for that wholesale, get some cash flow happening as well. I've now done all my consignments, and I've done my invoice for the guy that just paid the stuff. Like I said, I had a few calls as well, so it's good. It's really important that I separate time for this, and I think a lot of people, when they start building a business, get stuck in the business and not working on the business. I've also had some meetings around this new collection system business that going to be partnering with. and we're just working on, how do we get our first clientele and things like that. So, because I'm going to be the one that's picking it up, and we've just been talking a bit about that as well. So, lots of moving pieces. When it comes to reselling content, my content isn't the cliche of what most people would find, because I'm not here, talking about, big deals that we're picking up and things. I mean, I do when we get them, but it's really more of a boring side of like the day-to-day operations of what I'm having to do as a business owner, the decisions I'm making, why I'm making them. And my number one focus, and I was saying it before, my number one focus right now is to build a moat around the business to enable us to have an unfair advantage. At the moment, we have a lot of great things happening in the business, amazing things happening in the business, but there's still a lot of things which I'm not content with, simply because there's a lot of things that we don't control. Our stock inflow is not necessarily controlled by us, it's controlled by someone else or multiple sources, which is fine. And that's most businesses, your suppliers, if you're manufacturing and all those things. I want to be able to build that into our total end-to-end supply chain, so that I'm also in control of being able to acquire goods, not reliant on, necessarily having to go back to my regulars. This is not about getting rid of my regulars. This is about ensuring that we're building on top of it. My goal is to get the business back up to, so we're not having to think about having to, quick, what are we selling this week to get back to where we need to be? We want to get back to where we want to be, and then our focus is like, okay, so now how do we take this and do some amazing things? So that's really the priority at this point. I am very time squished at the moment. Like I said, we don't have staff here every day at the moment. Well, we do have Dion, but today we don't, and that's where there's some gaps. But I'm not going to hire again until I've got 100% back to a good run rate, and hopefully we'll get that in the next 1 to 2 months. That's the plan. All right, finished those Samsung tablets. I'm going to get them listed right now. Probably got a buyer that wants to take them straight away. But before I get to my next meeting, I figured I'll just answer some quick questions, or actually, they're not even questions. Last week, there was there was a comment that came through, and I kind of addressed it, and I just wanted to say a big thank you and much love to all the supporters that are here, really cheering in my corner. Just to say, like Relic, Yannicki, there's Christmas Pajamas, Tech Flipper, Puppy Dog, Stylist Wardrobe, and I think there was a few others that I might have missed. Just want to say thank you so much for the kind words and the encouragement, and being part of this, whether you've been here since day one or you've just joined recently, just being part of this journey. And I mean, you are right, I shouldn't be giving any of these comments airtime, but the point is, I want to make sure people know that in case people come into these, into my YouTube and see the comments and they don't have context, I want to make sure I'm standing up for my dream, right? And it's not about that I'm trying to prove anyone wrong or anything like that. It's more the fact that, it's my dignity. I want to stand up for it, and I want to make sure people realize that why I do things. That's why I try and explain things as well. And, I even had a comment that's saying, with the rent that I pay, it's a bit too risky. Well, it's like, well, I mean, sure, but if I don't take risks, I ain't going to grow either. So, I just want to say a big thank you. I'm not going to go through each one here, but I am just going to say a big thank you, and I'll reply to you all individually. It's good to hear from you all, and I appreciate the support and the love. So thank you so much. Some real kind words from all of you. And I don't know majority of you, like some of you are randoms to me, like meaning you're strangers to me, but you're here supporting me, and that means the absolute world to me. And that's why I call you my team. And speaking of team, if you do want to be that one little step closer, one little step next to leveling up opposed to just, some random viewer, I do have my memberships. We have the team memberships, we have the coffee memberships, we also have the Pokemon memberships, and we have the Further Your Lifestyle memberships. And this, there's no real huge sign up to this and you'll get all this. It's kind of like you'll get some special emojis, you'll get to be able to have some priority responses. You'll also go into giveaways that we do in our live streams, but it's really just to support the cause. You'll get a nice little icon by your name, a little badge. Puppy Dog's chicken has now turned red. You become a chicken. Context is I used to have pet chickens, and I liked the idea of that, the people that are supporting me as much as I loved my chickens. So anyway, long story short, if you are interested, you can join up. I am working on doing a few extra things, maybe doing some I think I mentioned it earlier this week about doing some member call videos and things like that, just where we hang out, answer questions, but I'm just got a poll running on that at the moment. So big thank you to everyone. I'm going to prep for this meeting, have the meeting, and then I've probably got a few other things I've got to do. So not much done in terms of the operations today, but heaps done in terms of getting us one step closer to where I want to be, and that's all that matters. So I'm going to get back to it. All right, team, just finished up, had a meeting with John. So John is he's my lister, my head lister, and he's also my business partner because we have a listing service. If anyone is genuinely wanting to level up their business this year on eBay, you don't have to be a reseller, and you're looking for someone to help do listings. We've done over 35,000 listings for customers now. We have a service, we have a team in the Philippines. It works out to be $2 or $1.50 per listing. If you buy a subscription, you get a discount. And yeah, we can handle that for you. You upload the photos. We've got a process for all of it. We manage it all for you. How to get access. It's all safe and secure. It's all integrated through eBay. And yeah, you can jump on and actually, if you wanted to jump on and test out the process, we've got 5 free listings. You can jump over there, set it up, get into it. We are looking for people that really want to be doing 20 listings or 10 plus listings a day. That way you can buy 100 listings in advance, and then we can just manage it for you. The idea is you have us do the listings, and the time that you would have been doing the listings, you're doing photos to get yourself ahead and to be growing. That's really the intention. So yeah, we just do catch-ups on a regular basis, just talk business and check in if there's any blockers or anything that we need to do. In terms of where we are, haven't done much of this at all. That's all done, as we said. Didn't get any of the backlog. I have just been doing all on the business stuff today, and as much as I get frustrated with that, it is actually one of the most important things for the business, because that's my job, and if I don't do that, the business slows down. So it is what it is. I've got to get out of here, folks. I've got to take the postage. I've got to go pick up Carla, and then we'll be back here again tomorrow. I am going to go to Backpacks tomorrow for a little bit and just check in, show face, and then work out what my new schedule is for the year. But anyway, be back here tomorrow, folks. Ciao! And just like that, we were back here again. It's Wednesday morning, folks, and 7:05. It's going to be another warm day here. We've got first plan of order is I've got to pay the staff, focus number 1, and then I've got to clean up this mess from, I almost forgot yesterday about doing the washing, so I quickly had to rush to do that before I left. So I'll just clean up all this, get that ready, because we've got washing coming back this morning, and then we've got more going out. I'm going to get all the phones on charge and everything ready for the team. I think I said it yesterday, but my priority for today, so we do need to do consolidation, but I'm actually going to have the team just focus on, so we've got to do consolidation. As you can see, we've got quite a lot happening down here, and here we're already full here. So we've got this much space, so I'm going to have the team do that today as much as possible, then start consolidation. Dion will be here today and tomorrow and Friday, so I'll probably have Dion do consolidation on Thursday. And I've got my other photographer in today, so they'll keep doing this. We've got all the North Face over here, and then we're getting a whole bunch of pretty cool sweaters, which I'm going to take you through today as well. So lots happening. First order of business, as I said, is I've got to go pay the staff, do a little bit of admin, and yeah, that's probably the main priority, and then just get everything ready to go for the day. I do need to step out for a meeting for Backpack for Vic Kids, so if you're new here, have no idea who they are, Backpack for Vic Kids is a charity business that provide the essential support for kids in need or out of home care. I volunteer there. We're just doing a catch up for my scheduling plan for the year. So I'm going to nick over there probably around 10 o'clock or so, catch up and just see what's what. The other things we've got to do today, like I said, I don't think there's e-waste coming, so it's really just photos. I'm probably might start doing some whatnot prep, and I've got to do a few other little admin things for some trade-ins. Yeah, I actually need to follow up on a lead. We may have a potential collection that I need to do for this new partnership that I'm working with. So I've got to just follow up on that. So I'm doing a lot of the logistics of them, and that is the exciting part, is have a bit more ownership, and I've got a little bit more take and grab from it. But it's, you know, it's just taking time. Need to get into all of this, like we're so behind. I'm actually thinking of bringing back another staff member just for 1 day a week. I've still got my other staff on payroll. They're just my casual team, which, yeah, so we had them not coming in from like October, November last year because, you know, we had the big dip, but now because of them, I'm realizing, look, we just need more hands. This is going to be starting to get, like, we're getting through this pretty quick. So I think what I'm going to end up doing is having probably Cameron, he's interested in doing another day, come in and help just do like shoes, non-clothing items. I don't know if I'll be able to get it onto the tech stuff. Some of the tech stuff I might be able to get him to test, but it's really just helping with that. And if I've got the work experience person coming in, they're going to help sort clothing. But if they're not coming in, again, might just have Cameron help do with that. We've still got a backlog of other things down here, like we just got heaps. So I'm thinking that's what we're going to need to do to just get that next step ahead. Because I'm just not having the time, and I feel like with all the little ventures and side quests and things that I'm trying to do to elevate the business, I need as much time as possible, especially if some of these other things take off. So yeah, really just planning ahead. So that's me. In terms of sales over the evening, pretty choppy, to be honest. It's roller coasters like normal, but it's always like this at the start of the month, so not too fussed by it. Back down to 91,694. We've got 8 orders to go out. So, but of the 8 orders, you know, there's a $200 sale there. There's a couple of 24s. There's a couple of 35s. Yeah, so, you know, it's not too bad, all things considered. All right, let's get to it. All right, team, we've got huge amount going out today. Dion's going to be done in record time. We've got a little piece of Lego. We actually sold one of these yesterday. They've been going for about 33 bucks. Don't think there's anything crazy in here. It's just kind of bread and butter. Actually, no, there was a jersey that went for 200 bucks. This was on a consignment piece, but nice little, it's one of the first 18 vintage AFL ones. So that was a good little sale. It's good because I had some guy sending me offers for about 150 on it for ages, just back, go. And then yesterday I sent out an offer for 200 and someone else bought it, so happy days. Just waiting for the washing, and then once the washing's back, I'm gonna head over to backpacks and we'll come back and get back into the day. All right, team, we're back. I've been back for a bit. I've actually just been getting all the washing out. We've got all these jeans. We've got all of these vintage pieces of clothing, and these. I've actually been filming a time lapse to put on shorts. Check out this banger. This is epic. That is so cool. So a whole bunch of vintage. This is all vintage sweaters and jackets, and vintage jeans and pants. Very happy with that. So they'll be ready for the team over there now. I'm going to go quickly make this short now. Then it's going to be lunchtime, and then after lunch, get back to it. All right, team, it's getting hot in here. I'm starting to prep for the Whatnot show now. I've got to pull out all the women's stuff, sort through it, see what options we have for you ladies for the show. Maybe the guys want to buy too. So I'm going to start doing that. It's 1 o'clock, and yeah, and then I've got to do a whole bunch of other things if I get time, but I'm going to prioritize this now because I don't really want to be rushing to do this tomorrow. All right, team, some good news. Just had our first trade-in item that we're going to be selling, and it is a camera. It's a bundle of things. We've got a camera and we've got a couple of lenses. So I'm just going to actually get this photoed and listed ASAP. So we've got a Sony I think it's a 6000 or 6400. I'm going to check. Yeah, A6000, as you can see here, nice little white one. So I'm going to go through the process here and get this one photoed and listed. We'll sell the lenses separately, and yeah, happy days. Alright, team, so we've now photoed those lenses and cameras. I'm doing one camera with the lens, one lens with the camera, and the other 2 lenses will sell individually. So I'm going to go list these now, as it's part of a new project. So I really want to get a quick, quick activity with it and see if we can't sell it very quickly. It was a Japan model. The problem with the Japan models is they're region locked. Well, they're not actually. There's a little trick that you can do to unlock all the English settings, so I was just doing that, which was a fun little process. And yeah, now we've photoed it, labeled it, and now to get it sold and hopefully get these people very happy with some money. Alright team, it's now the end of the day. I've done the camera, it's listed. Let's see how long it takes to sell and see if I can get some success for this new customer. We've done almost all the women's sorting. We've still got this box to do, and I think that one's got some more on it as well. So I'm gonna have to continue that tomorrow. We've got like tops and then bottoms, so like dresses and skirts and pants. We're actually gonna be trying out doing the dresses and stuff with this. This should help really display things a lot better on the whatnot. So yeah, pretty exciting. It's still got a lot to go through tomorrow on that. Camera's all done. It's been pretty quiet postage wise, like sales wise, but we're gonna pack up, get out of here, and we'll be back here again tomorrow doing it all again. Ciao. All right team, I actually just wanted to have a quick little chat. Obviously it's still Wednesday today, but I feel like I haven't really spoken to you guys much today, but there's been, I mean, again, trying to really give you guys as much detail as possible and share why I do things and my headspace and, you know, why I approach things the way I do or how I approach things. And today, like, I've just been, well, one, I was at Backpack for Big Kids. We've been planning our fundraising campaign for this year, and how to make that, again, something bigger and better than ever. There's a new partnership manager there, so just introducing myself and getting to know them, and how we plan to do the next steps. And yeah, interesting space, trying to always do new things. So yeah, looking forward to doing more of that. More on that as it comes. So for those that don't know, I do a lot of fundraising for Backpack for Big Kids, and I try and incorporate that as many places as possible. The other thing that happened today was obviously been prepping for whatnot. I would like to see what opportunities come once eBay Live is available. I mentioned that last year, and that's in the back of my mind, but you know, nothing's set in stone for that yet, so just waiting to kind of see what happens. I think details on that's meant to come February, March, so I'll be sussing that out if I can. The only difference on that is it's like, yeah, it's not whatnot, it's eBay, so hopefully there's some synergies there. So I'll be sussing that out. And then there's you know, this whole trade-in program, which is now starting to get a little bit more traction because we had the quick win. I've had to, the thing that I like about all of this is when I do stuff, so when you take on new stuff, it's scary. Like it's unknowns. It's like when I did whatnot for the first time, is this going to be good for my business? It's like when I did the markets, is this going to be good for my business? This trade-in program, is this going to be good for my business? You know, and a lot of the time, you're not ready for it. You don't know how to do things. And when you get to the situation where you need to know how to do things, you learn how to do things. It's that simple. But at the same time, that's uncomfortable. It's scary, it's hard, and it's, yeah, it's that, exactly. So, you know, today, got the camera, we had already done some, you know, pre-analysis tests on it to make sure it's up to the condition that we want. And yeah, it seemed fine. One thing we didn't realize is that it was Japanese locked. I already mentioned this, but you know, I had to spend some time of how do we get around that? Am I going to have to sell it Japanese locked, which might have been the case, or is there some workarounds? There were some firmware updates that we could do, or tweaks, and we were able to get that to English. And you know, in the moment, at the time, it's like, crap, have we stuffed up here? Because you know, we've paid up for this camera, and like, you know, I'm not mucking around, and now we have to go try and sell it. And I'm thinking, geez, that might mean we don't get as much. However, managed to figure out a solution. We've got it photo listed today, and now hopefully we can get it sold. Hopefully, you know, within 45 days is the goal. That's what I'm working my contract. And then the other stuff that's coming on is like I've had a couple of leads come through for the new, like I said, that collection system. I need to sneeze. It is just sitting there. Ash, there it is. For the new collection system that I'm working with, and those leads were unfortunately not final, like what do you call it, they weren't wins. So they were just a couple that had some questions, and unfortunately they're not in the area that we do. They were actually a different state. So I think that's because working with the team that are doing that, making sure that how they're advertising is very unique to our location. It was a bit unfortunate that that was the case, but you know, it just shows that there is people wanting to, you know, yeah, utilize that service that's being provided. So, oh, the boys in blue. Anyway, so yeah, I just wanted to reflect on that because I feel like I haven't really got to show much of that in my thinking because I'm just doing stuff in the moment, and it's my headspace requires a lot of just focus. But now I can kind of reflect back on it and see, wow, this has actually been a really great day. It sounds like I'm getting two more devices this week from the trade-in program, so that's exciting. I think that will come Thursday, Friday. Sounds like no e-waste this week, but that stuff's, you know, complementing that. I haven't had time to get into all the other stuff yet, like the e-waste there, so still trying to figure out how to solve for that. I have made a potential offer to the work experience individual that wants to do work experience. Yeah, that we'll find out if that's going to go ahead, and they might even start as early as Friday. Thoughts around that is maybe I might have them help categorize clothing as the new stock that we have to get through, but also I'm thinking they might help me with whatnot. Maybe they can just be a little aid that can help yeah, get some of the clothing ready for the next lineup. Good work experience for e-commerce. I mean, geez, how exciting. So interesting times. You know, you just never know what's going to come around the next corner. And my message in all of this is you just got to be willing to give things a go, try stuff, and be out there. So back yourself, try new things if it aligns to where you want to be, and you know, give it a go. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Maybe you lose some money, but you get some skills, you get some experience, and maybe you've had some fun along the way. Maybe. Anyway, team, I'll see you tomorrow. Ciao. And just like that, it was Thursday. Woo! All right, lots happening. So unfortunately, no e-waste today. Usually on Thursdays, that's when I go through the e-waste. Like I said, looks like that's coming next week. There is a potential it's coming today, but he said highly unlikely. Just been charging the walkie stacker overnight. I gotta turn that off. So yeah, that's that, but that's okay. For me today, I have a number of things that I want to try and get done, and try is the key word. So Dion will be in. He'll have a pick, pack, and post. I'll probably still get him to do some photos, and then he's going to start on the consolidation. I think that's our best play here. I've got to spend a lot of time just checking how much space we've got. So yeah, I've got to spend a bit of time doing a number of different things. I've got to clean up a little bit of stuff. That's what I want to achieve today. I need to do some pricing updates for my trade-in program, not my trade-in program, for the trade-in program that I'm part of. And I need to finish all the whatnot stuff. So that's the priority today. And hopefully, if I can, do some photos of some other stuff. So I want to try and get some of this stuff out of here, at least shuffled over there or whatever. And that way, at least things are a bit more spacious. It's going to be a huge women's whatnot show on Friday. So I'm going to do some short content for that as well. Got some returns back, got to deal with that. So yeah, look, we're going to get into it. But in terms of sales last night, again, kind of a little bit on the lower side that I would like, but shut it on. That was a big one. I do need to take a photo of a couple of things just for someone, but we've got 9 orders going out. We've got Ralph Lauren, we've got some collectibles going out, so there's about $99 there. We did sell Fallout New Vegas for $75, and then just a lot of bread and butter. So yeah, it looks like I've got a work experience student starting tomorrow as well. I'm not going to be putting them on camera or anything, but their goal is probably going to be helping sort a lot of this, and I've got to get organized for that as well. And then I want to clean up some stuff over here, just so, you know, I just want to make sure that they're keeping the students safe. There's no tripping hazards and stuff. So I got to do a little bit of work today. That's okay. Make sure that they get a good experience of, you know, but then again, this is the reality of it. Things aren't always perfect and good looking. We're very rough and tough here, and we just get the job done. But that's what I'll be spending my time doing today. All right, I've just got to take a couple of photos of a couple of items over there, just to get that done, and then we're going to get into the day. I hope you're doing well. There is a question I'm going to answer too. All right, so I've got listings live. I've only listed 36 items so far, but we've listed $2,300 worth. I've got some bigger items in there. Yesterday we listed those cameras as well, so we're trying to just get some higher ASP stuff up at the moment, and not necessarily be going crazy on listing too many items, simply because I don't have a backlog at the moment. Now, there is that whole debate of like, should you just list it today versus should you be listing daily? What I like to do is, if you've got stuff to list, get it listed. But I also like to make sure I've got stuff going up on a daily basis, because it does help with the traffic, just, people getting prompted, getting search hits and things like that. So I try to do, manage that and do it on a daily basis. But ideally you want to just, if you've got stuff to sell, get it up to sell it. All right, I just want to answer a quick question. I've just had another, this is my life. Things change so quickly. I've had an email come through from our partner or person that I'm working with, client, on this trading program, and they've sent me a whole list of new products that they want to see if we can price up, of like if we're willing to buy certain things. Now, this is not to buy. This is if they have customers come in and say, we want to do these items. They want to know if I'm willing to buy them and what am I willing to pay for them. So there's about, there must be about 35 here. So I've got to do that now. It's going to take a little bit of time, but I'm going to prioritize it. So this is my life, but I'm going to answer a question that came in from Darren. It's a good question, actually. It was in regards to, let me read it out to you. Hey mate, thanks for the video. How much approximately does it cost you to list one item? Cleaning costs of a photographer and lister. Look, on average, obviously there's the cost of the item, so that's variable, but from a cleaning perspective, depending if it's lightweight or heavyweight, usually it's probably working out to be, like, if I actually go through my data, look, I can give you probably a good idea. I'll just do this on the fly. So if I filter by washing, the average washing expenditure is about $343, and it's probably about 125 items. So what I say, 343 divided by 120. Yeah, look, if you're sending out teas, it's probably like 150 items. If you're sending out sweaters, it's probably 100. Let's just half that. 150 plus 100 divided by 2, so we're 100. So 125 basically. 343 divided by 125. So it's about $2.70. I actually think it's closer to $2.50 to wash on average. So it's not cheap. So if we do that, so $2.50 to photograph. I'm just having someone rock up. Got my little camera here just watching. For photographing, that works out to be roughly, again, I'm going to look at my real-time data. So we track all of this to see on average how quickly people, I'm not trying to make anyone's life miserable, but on average we're doing plus that divided by 2, 56 times. I'm just doing some math while we do this. If I divide that by 6, yeah, about 8 equals. Yeah, it's probably about $3, maybe. The data is a bit skewed because we've had the team away, but from my recent data, but if I go it across a broader range, it's probably about $3. So we're at $2.50 plus $3 plus 2, so yeah, it's about $7.50 to list an item. And that's why, where I can do whatnot or wholesale, it makes sense, because if I buy an item for $5, it's essentially going to cost me $12.50 after, like, if I buy an item for $5, and then I've got to go just trying to look from my history here, and I've got to go add another $7.50 to it, well, yeah, we're getting up to $12.50 for a cost of good. And if our ASP is 45, you know, it doesn't leave much room for wiggle room, but it is about $10 profit on average. But we're actually, in the clothing space, we're probably averaging about that $12, $10 item. And my cost of good is probably, probably around that $12 on average. So really, we're just replacing it. Because I'm paying other people to do it. Of course, if I wasn't paying other people to do it, and I'm doing it myself, sure, our expenses would be way down. But the reality is I have to do everything, and that's not, scalable either. So yeah, really good question. I'd love to know people's thoughts on that. It seems high. It seems high, but I'm also making sure I pay my people right, because I want them to be motivated, and I want them to be, rewarded for the hard work that they do. Makes sense. All right, team, let's show you all the crazy sales we've got going out today. This one actually was pretty cool. It's gone for about 99 bucks. That was a consignment piece. We do have a nice little Fallout New Vegas Ultimate Edition. Fallout, the TV series season 2 finished last night. So there was a lot of hype over there doing some re-release games. And I think this person's just, bit the bullet on that one. Then we've got a bit of fleece going out. We've got a little bit of denim, some True Religion actually, which is pretty cool. Just bread and butter really kind of stuff. Nothing crazy, but yeah, let's hope the sales pick up later today. All right, team, it is now 10:44. Finished that pricing stuff. That took a while, but it's got to be accurate because it's getting uploaded into a tool. I'm going to start to clean this stuff up. Go. Lots to do today. All right, team. Jeez, it's bright. Making some good space here. Lots of good space. So I'm about to sort this into more categories over here, just so it's going to be easier for the actual show itself. We've also been getting ready for tomorrow because we're going to be kicking off sorting more stuff over here. So Dion helps with this in putting stuff into the different, I guess, different sources. So that's from one client, one supplier, one client, one supplier. And tomorrow we're going to start sorting through all this. We've got all the empty boxes ready to put these into the categories. So essentially they come mixed. So it could be shorts, tops, dresses all together. We go through, sort them into the different categories, so we can just send them out for washing. It's good. We're starting to get through this. We need to really get through this quickly though, because we've got all of that still to do. So we are getting through it, but not where I want to be at this point. But baby steps. All right, I'm going to sort this clothing and get it ready for the show. Whew, geez, tiring. We do it all again. All right, we're all set up. We've got all the dresses that are going to be going up on mannequins. They're all going to go here. I'll have someone helping me do this. We've got some bigger jackets. We've got sweaters and hoodies and jumpers. We've got denim pants, shorts and skirts. These are all tops. We've got a whole bunch of Disney. Some of this will be giveaways. That's just to show you a little thing. Some of this is newer tags as well. I believe this one is newer tags. There we go. Where is it? Somewhere here. There we go, newer tags. And yeah, plenty of space, so happy days. I've got a consignee customer here as well. He's just about to unload, so good timing. Good timing. Woo! All right, what a day. It's now 4:40. I'm actually just waiting for Carla, and I'm going to go pick her up from the train station. But had my consignee guy here. He actually purchased a couple of things himself. Spent 130 bucks, but there's a whole bunch of more stuff to go through and sort. Just, another day, but this is all non-clothing, so a bunch of toys and a few electronics and things like that. We've also got another little Mac here as well, so a few different bits and bobs. That's tomorrow's problem. Might not be till next week, actually. I'll be dropping off the post in the morning. Yeah, in terms of what I've been up to, so after finishing the Whatnot, I also got into doing just setting up the back end. And one of the biggest challenges that we've had with Whatnot has been the postage situation. So I've just been trying to do a little bit of strategic work in trying to get that right, because last time we've always had to pay like an additional amount of postage on top of what the customer's already paying, which, look, I mean, I don't mind doing that, but I don't know why Whatnot's not really putting it together really well. So just trying to get that fixed up. A little bit frustrating, but we're getting there. So I've just been working on that. I think I've now got it figured out. We've actually now sold over 2,000 items on Whatnot, which is pretty cool. Nice little fun fact there. So yeah, just working on that. Just going to finish up with a few admins and bits and bobs while I wait for a message from Carla. In terms of sales today, it's been absolutely dead, which is unfortunate, but what do you do? We've done 7 sales, $350. I have put a coupon on, see if we can just get things moving again, just for people that swing by. But look, I'm finding most sales are coming in the afternoon. I'm also finding there is a lot more new buyers on eBay, which isn't a bad thing, but there's a lot of people that just don't know how to do things. And that's, you know, eBay obviously needs to do better with people, you know, as they get onboarded or as they start to buy and stuff. So I've got a customer saying, you know, so he's bought something, wrong size, doesn't fit, wants to return. I said, that's fine, you know, just raise a free return. We offer free returns. And they're saying, oh, well, why aren't I getting my full refund? And it's like, well, you know, it's a change of mind. It's a different size. So that's the process. We offer free returns. You don't have to pay for the postage and you'll get the amount back that eBay has got in their tool. So he's complaining, and it's very frustrating because this stuff, I mean, obviously it becomes more and more of this as you sell more. So it's a result of, you know, good work. But it's some of the things that we shouldn't have to deal with. Like, if I mean, all this stuff, we try to automate it as much as possible, but because they're not understanding it, you know, they're coming to us and saying, oh, well, that's ridiculous. I want all my money back. And it's like, well, you know, we're already paying for the postage to come back, but you purchased it. We had the measurements, we had the sizing there. It doesn't fit. So, you know, we're not going to give you a full refund because the postage still has to be paid for. You know, meet in the middle, but really not enjoying that. And this is like the third person I've had to explain this to probably in the last week, which surprised me. I mean, like, you know, you buy from like Maya or Levi's or something, and if something doesn't fit, it costs to return it, but they'll give you a refund once you get it back. That's standard process. These people aren't having it though. And, you know, this is for like a $30 item. So, and I get it because that $30 is probably at a value point in which to them is a lot of money because they've saved up, they've purchased it, doesn't fit, blah, blah, blah. Now anyway, so it's just interesting. So that I've just been dealing with this customer back and forth, but, you know, we started chatting, at, I don't know, 4:08. It's now 4:44, back and forth. So, you know, I try to get on top of these things ASAP. I don't really like to leave them hanging. I want to, you know, help get it resolved to show them that we're trying to help and things like that. But sometimes that still won't cut it. And I think this is going to get turned nasty. They're probably going to end up leaving feedback saying, oh, you know, wouldn't give a refund or something, when there's a process in place. We're happy to give a refund. Yeah, it's, what do you do, right? So little frustrations like that are annoying, really are. Other than that, don't really have much else to say. This week's been a blur again. Can't believe tomorrow's Friday. We're already here. But, you know, all things considered, there's so many moving pieces happening at the moment, which I'm still just trying to figure out what's my next best action. I've been spending a lot of time chatting with Dion and the team of, like, you know, of some of the opportunities we have. But one of the biggest, this is going to sound silly, one of the biggest problems I have at the moment, well, probably one of the biggest fears that I have at the moment, is I've got some opportunities, and I'll talk about them later. My concern is I say yes to the opportunity, and it goes better than expected, and then that becomes a core component of the business. It means we have to keep doing it. And I think this is a really important thing to ask yourself is, put it this way. This is probably a good way to explain it, because it's probably relevant to a lot of new people getting into reselling. Whatnot came through, actually no, I'll say, oops, there's a bit of a smudge there. Before I was doing Whatnot, I was doing markets. And I said, you know what, I'll give it a go, see what happens. And, you know, the first market we did, I think we did 150. The second market we did like $600. It was like, this is great. This is going to be good. And then all the markets after that, you know, we're lucky we did $100. Some of them we did, you know, 250, but most of them were doing about 100, 150. And then some we did 50. So with that, it was kind of like, it was a trial and error. I was happy to, you know, give it time. But as I kept doing it, I started to realize, well, if this keeps going well, I have to keep committing time to do it. Now, if I was committing time to it and I was getting really good result, it's worth my time. But you also got to remember that as I'm trying to scale the business, I want the business to be growing, not relying on me. I want it to be relying on the infrastructure that we create, the processes that we create, the team, the broader business in itself. So then we move to Whatnot, which again requires me, or it requires someone. It doesn't require me. At the moment, it requires me because I'm the one doing it. But you know, and that's been really good. And that's, I wouldn't say it's been, you know, a game changer, but you know, it's probably added top line on average. It could add $1,000 to $2,000 in revenue a month, which is nice. But again, requires time and effort. And at this point, it requires me. Now, I could solve all this and hire someone else to do it for me, but it costs money. So you've got to really have a good return on investment. But the thing with Whatnot, if I had done Whatnot and all of a sudden it was doing more than my core business, like eBay, I would have to ask myself, okay, how do I make this happen always? Because if you go do a show and it's starting to suggest that in the same amount of 8 hours that you can get more money from doing Whatnot, you know, why wouldn't you keep doing it? Now, my concern is like, that's great, but I don't want to have to do it on the basis that it relies on me. Because, you know, maybe people are buying because, you know, people, maybe they trust my brand, maybe they're like me, or maybe it's got nothing to do with me either. But the business then starts to rely on that. And what I'm trying to say here is that when you're going to do something, an opportunity, you have to look at it from the perspective of like, if this works versus if it does not work. If this works, are you willing to commit to doing more of it? Because sometimes it doesn't lead to where you want to be going, right? Now, sometimes we get forced into these situations because, you know, the way business happens changes. You know, a lot of stuff is moving to live. Obviously, eBay was before, you know, there was, you know, trading posts and you used to do articles, and then eBay came along and then you had to, you know, it changed. It was a game changer. E-commerce changed everything. Now we're seeing more live stuff that's changing, and I got to ask myself, do I want to do more of that or not? Do I want that to be my business model? Now, sure, there's a lot of brands having to do that, but there's a lot of brands that don't either. So that's definitely the question that I'm asking myself is like, do I want to commit to that? And if I do, you know, if this opportunity takes off, sure, I can have other people do it. But at the same time, it's like, is that what I want for the business? So that's where my head's at. That's what I'm thinking about. So, look, I'm probably going to start to pack up. Carla's just messaged. I've got to be there in about an hour. I'll start to pack up. I'll probably check in before I go. But yeah, progress is progress. It's another win of a day. We're getting things done that I want to get done. I've actually achieved everything I wanted to get done today. So happy with that. And we're back here again tomorrow. We've got the big Whatnot show. Make sure you do follow me there. And, you know, if you want to keep up to tabs on more Whatnot shows, that's probably where to suss it out. Anyway, ciao. All right, team, I'm about to leave, and one of my clients called me if I can store some stuff here overnight because they've got to do a big drive tomorrow and need the van empty. So I've just said, you know what, that's fine. So they're coming here, dropping off a couple of pallets, not for me, but these are the kind of things that you got to do to, you know, just help other businesses, right? It gets me excited to be able to be in a position to be able to say yes for that. So anyway, that's it from me. I'm out of here. Well, not out of here. I'm going to leave you. You're out of here, and I'll see you in the morning. Ciao. And folks, just like that, it was Friday. We finally made it. We're here, ready to rumble. And tell ya, it's all happening. After all that cleanup we did, now I've got to shuffle all this out. So I can't remember what I said last night, but one of my clients, they had a bit of a warehouse muck up, the place they were going to drop some stuff off. They rocked up and it was closed. So the guy called me because he's just local, said if he can store it here for the weekend. I said, mate, no worries, more than happy to help. So we've got 4 pallets of stuff that's not for us, but that we need to just shuffle out. So it's all interesting bits and bobs, but anyway, that's not of my business. So I am going to actually just get this out so it's sitting on the side, just so I can have some wriggle room in here and we're not so boxed up. So I'm going to do that now, and then we're going to get into the day. Some really, really good news is one of the camera lenses from that camera deal that we did, the first trade-in, already sold. So that's a good little start. Sold for $190, I think it was. So good little win. Let me get this happening and then we can get into the day. Alright, that's all done. Now we can move this stuff back, get a little bit of space back for the rest of the day, because we're going to be sorting all our clothes. This is my life now. Here, come here. Come on. You coming? Alright, not too bad. Alright, that's all sorted and all done. So, we did get a whole bunch of stuff from my consignee last night. Didn't really take you through it. There's a whole bunch of goodies in here. We'll try and sort some of that. We've still got all of this that we haven't done yet. We're so behind, but that's okay. Today's big plan is Dion's in. I actually have work experience student coming in today as well. They'll be here for the next few weeks, just on one day for the next few weeks, which is exciting. So I'm actually a bit nervous about that, just because, I don't know, feels cool. We're on 91,389, sorry, 839. We've got 8 orders going out, absolutely dead. We do have the whatnot today, so hopefully we'll get a little bit of a pick-me-up on that one. So I'll be spending actually a lot of time here from 12:30, but we've kind of already got everything ready to go. I've got one photographer coming in around 12:30. They're going to actually help me with whatnot for 30 minutes. And then I think Dion's only here for half the day. So we're going to be having the work experience student help sort clothing. So we've got about 2,000 pieces in here. I'm not expecting them to get this done, but today. But over the next few weeks, their role is going to be just putting these into categories, doing the washing checks and that kind of stuff, and yeah, going through that process. So very, very exciting. Someone just rocked up here. Anyway, so all good. I'm going to get into the morning, just shuffle a few things, get things set up, and then we'll get into the day. All right, folks. Well, we don't really have actually much going out today. We've got this motherboard has sold a few times. This person actually has finally paid and moved forward with it. So I think that went for like $60. And then a bit of jeans. And yeah, oh, did you find the lens? Yes, yes, and we did sell one of the lenses from that new trading program, which was a quick sale. So we got, I think, 190. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, 190. So that was a good win. And we actually had an offer on the other one, but they did a big lowball, so we said no on that one. But yeah, not really much going out, but that's okay. The whatnot should make up for it, and I think hopefully we'll see a pickup over the weekend. We actually have a lot of people pending payments, and they've all reached out. Can we wait till Tuesday? Can we wait till Sunday? But obviously that makes it a little bit frustrating. I've told them they can wait as long as it says on eBay, but after that we can't do anything. So yeah. All right, team. I am doing a whole bunch of testing on these because we've got a whole bunch of them. So just setting one up here and trying to configure them to see that they're actually working. Otherwise, I won't be able to sell them. I'll have to sell them as untested, but we'd be missing out on a fair bit of dollary-doos. So yeah. Alright team, with the help of ChatGPT, we finally managed to get these working. So we've got to just do a full reset, but we've got a whole bunch of these. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of the smaller ones, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the big ones. So we're winning. Alright, so for these small ones, just looking on here, looks like they're going for 99. This person sold 28 of them, so I'm going to list them for 97. And happy days. Right, Tim, I've still got a few of those things just doing updates, firmware updates, and resetting them and rebooting them. While that's happening, it's now 11:30, so I'm just going to get ready for the Whatnot show. So a couple of things that need to happen is, so last time we did the box system. The box system's okay, obviously, if there's heaps of people buying. But what I'm going to be doing is using some sticky notes just so I don't have to worry about writing on the boxes and things. And the other thing is, if we do sell something that's hanging, I'm going to need to be able to write on that item what it is, you know, who bought it or whatever. So just in case, it's really just making sure we have a good workflow, because again, trying slightly something new, so just want to be prepared for it. But ideally, if we do sell something on one of those, the way it's going to work is it will sell, we'll take it off, and I'll put it in the same box anyway. It's just if it gets a bit too busy or we're getting a good rush, go, I can just put it back there and the other team member can help with that. So I'm going to start to get this ready. I've got to have lunch before I do the show, but yeah, it should be pretty exciting. All right, team. Dion's had to nick home, and the student is taking a break. So I'm just going to quickly show you what's happening here. I'm about to get ready for the Whatnot, so I'm just quickly going to show you this. The student's been doing an absolute amazing job. They've gone through almost nearly half of it and put it into different lots now. Obviously, I haven't seen what's in here, so I have no idea what we're working towards, but it looks like we've got a bunch of Nike, we've got some sports stuff there, we've got lots of shorts. This one looks interesting. Is that a Wrangler? No. What is it? Oh yeah, just a Wilson Security, but collab with something. Yeah, so they've been sorting this really well. I'm really impressed with their work, so thank you. And I'm going to go have some food quickly, and then next photographer will be here at about 12:30, a bit after, but then I've just got to get ready for the Whatnot and we'll get straight into it. So I'll leave it there and I'll show you everything afterwards. Wish us luck, all for the best, and I'll see you at the end. All right, team, we are done. Geez, the hair has changed from the heat. What a show. It was absolutely amazing. I wouldn't say it was like crazy in terms of like heaps of dollars, but we've had some big spenders. Appreciate everyone coming out and buying. We've got all of this. One person's gone here picking for a purpose. Amazing stuff. Thank you so much for the support. All of this, and then there's a bit more here as well. So that's all done now. We did all right. Like, I mean, for all things considered, we did $491, 155 items, but that's probably gone to not many people at all. So 491 divided by 155. So average price was only about $3. So not huge bucks, but for the women's clothing, we do find it is a bit lower. In terms of how many, looks like we had a total of, so it was 25 orders we have to send, but it looks like that's across 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 15, 16, 17 customers. So yeah, not too bad at all. Happy with that. So we didn't get as much as we would have liked, but hey, I'm happy with that. With the women's clothing, it is a lower end amount, but you ladies had a good time. I had a good time. There'll be plenty more to come. So now I've got to get just things organized. I've got to pack up everything and get out of here by 4:30, get to the post office, and I've got to clean up. I've got to bring all this stuff back in as well. And yeah, we did some good progress over here. We'll get back to that next week. But yeah, all in all, can't really complain. Happy days. All right, team, that is a wrap. It's been one of those weeks again where I say it every week. I literally say it every week. It's all a blur, and that's because there's so much going on. And you know, they're all good problems. My headspace in terms of like just thinking about this, we've got to do that, change this, think about that. It's just go. And I love that. Like, I thrive off that. My previous job before doing all this was project management, and you know, I loved being able to, like, every day it was a new challenge, something different happened, delivery timelines changed, we had to do different resourcing, we had to solve different budget problems. It was fun, and it wasn't just me. Like, I worked with obviously a great team of individuals, and it was some good fun, but it wasn't for me in the long run because it wasn't getting me closer to where I wanted to be. That's why I, left and started my own gig. But anyway, excuse me. So this week has been lots of thinking, lots of pivotal points, I think, because there's a number of things that have started to finally happen, like that camera stuff, and we sold one of the lenses, like it's starting to work. So now we just got to get more of that, right? So it's a matter of just volume. I've got another 2 that were meant to come today, but the customer couldn't drop them off, so they're coming Monday, I believe. So that's exciting. So that, all these good things are happening. But the big kicker is the reason why I am pushing so hard to create more opportunities for the business is because I'm not getting the results I want. Now, some would say you need to do more work, you need to do more of this, but the reality is, I think where that separation point is of what most, and I'm generalizing here, how most resellers or people selling on eBay in the same community of my own are trying to operate eBay are basically trying to do it by themselves. They're not trying to scale the business where they want more people working and taking it to that next level. And that is extremely hard, right? 2 Aussie thrifters are doing it as well. They've got team members. I don't know many other, actually I don't think there's any other resellers at our scale that have stuff. I think Diary of a Flipper, I think Judder has, he has a staff member, and then I even think Uncle Wayno does as well. But not many people do, and it doesn't even matter if you do or you don't. My point is, to scale at that point is very hard to be able to get the return on investment. It's a huge challenge. We're still seeing the profits, we're still seeing the results, but like I said, I'm not happy where it's at, because when we have days like today and yesterday where it's brutally no sales, it's frustrating. And yeah, I need the I guess the moat, or I need the buffer, I need the additional revenue to keep us, just when things pop up. Like this month I got to pay my warehouse insurance. It's gone up like 10%. That's like 3.6k. My rent went up. That went up 4%. All those different things. And I'm not here to complain and talk about like how do I do this and help solve my problems. I'm literally just telling you how my head's at in terms of what's going on in my mind. So that's what's in the back of my mind. And if we can keep getting a lot of these trading programs happening, if we can keep getting some of these other opportunities, I'm working on a deal hopefully for potentially, I think it's 17 or 19 MacBooks. This new collection business that I'm working with, apparently this is the first pickup, but it's nothing special. But the idea is that the deal is you're picking up whether it's good or bad. All these things are happening, but still not just seeing the results I want. And that's okay, because I will continue to work through it. We did the whatnot today. Everything gives us results. I have just higher expectations. And the lesson from all of this is, when you're building out something, when you're creating something, when you're doing something, when you're trying to be a better version of yourself, you have to go through the things that don't meet your expectations. Some would call that failures. And then you have to do a lot of CI, which is continuous improvement, reiterate, do it again, and that iteration over time, those reps over time, that experience over time, it carves away something beautiful. And in the end, you'll get the result you want. But right now, I'm in the point where it's that pressure point, the point where I'm having to figure out different solutions, having to figure out how to solve new problems, having to figure out how do we do this. And as I explained the other day, I've got one thing, an opportunity, which I'm scared if I do it and it becomes reliant on it, I'm not sure how that's going to work. But again, I wasn't doing clothing 2 years ago. We didn't have a warehouse a year ago. So all these things, they scare the heck out of you because they're unknown. So when you feel that way, you just got to be willing to weigh up. Are you willing to risk the outcome of the negative consequence or the positive consequence? I'm going for the positive. What if this does work? That's how I approach these things. But yeah, it's scary. That's for sure. Anyway, work experience student, really great job. They've processed probably 1,000 pieces of clothing today. Absolutely amazing, and very grateful for that they're getting involved. And look, maybe the end I can offer them a job or something. Don't know what that will look like, but hopefully it'd be pretty cool. So busy week, crazy week, lots done. Am I happy? I'm tired. I am happy. I'm just not satisfied. And when I look at the numbers, like this week, it's been a low volume week. We've done 75 sales. Usually we do it about 150. And in that, we're sitting at the moment about 4,600, and that's on February, that's on Friday, 6th of Feb. So at the moment, it's suggesting we're going to do about 6.5K this week. That ain't going to cut it. It needs to be closer to 9. So either we're going to have some bigger sales over the weekend, or I don't know. But it is just dipped off huge. So very frustrating. But at the moment, we're averaging about $1,100 a day because we've had some bigger days. So we are on track to do about 33,000 for this month. I want to get that back closer to 40. Very hard to achieve when it's a shorter month, February, but it doesn't mean I ain't going to go for it. I've been spending a lot of time doing testing today. Those new modems and routers, the 4G ones and the 5G ones. Haven't finished that, but they're going to bring in some nice candy. I don't know what else to do. It is what it is. But we're charging on. I got some business meetings next week, catching up with a few people. I'm going to press forward regardless. And as much as the stuff scares me, I'm also confident enough to know that I'm going to figure it out one way or another. And it's not as simple as just saying, oh, well, you'll be fine, we'll figure it out. But no, I'm willing to do what it takes to figure it out. There's a whole bunch of different stuff that, I've got some wholesale stuff going out next week. There's a few other things in the works. And when you are pressured and not seeing the results you want, and just to be clear, my results aren't bad. Like, I'm not saying that, no, this is it, we're struggling, we can't do it anymore. Like, we're profitable. We're covering all our expenses. We're covering all our bills. I'm just not happy with where the result is, right? And that keeps me honest. It pushes me forward. It pushes me harder. It makes me think, how do we do things better? How do we make things better? So that's really the whole headspace of it all. Anyway, I'm just blabbering at this point. Let me know in the comments below. How are you doing with everything? Are you achieving what you want to achieve? Are you hard on yourself? Do you sometimes put too high of expectations? How do you go about these things? I'd love to hear it. If you do have any questions, chuck them down below. Let me know about that poll as well around me doing live streams and doing maybe some member stuff. I would really love to know about that. And we'll be back here again next week doing it all again. It's an exciting week. Can't remember what we've got planned, but I know there's a lot of moving pieces next week as well. So never a dull day. Appreciate you all. Take it easy, be kind, and yeah, I'll see you when I'm looking at you. Ciao.